But even more importantly, we want to get on with the execution of the structural reforms, which we all know, and I've always talked about the fact that for the what and why, Pakistan has known for a very long time. It's now getting on with the execution. And for that, we need the fund umbrella. In terms of our priorities, again, there's no rocket science in there. We have to broaden our tax base. Our tax to GDP is languishing at about 9%. If we have to join the Committee of Nations, we have to start moving it towards 14-15%. The second one, the Minister of Power is here, Minister of Petroleum is here. With the help of these cabinet colleagues, we have to start resolving the complex energy equation, because we can make an industrial policy, we can start moving in the right direction, but if we don't get into competitive energy, we are not going to get there. So that's a second very important part of the reform agenda. And the third one is the SOE reforms. As Minister Mudassir Malik mentioned, and our Prime Minister has been very clear, that the government has no business in being in business. And therefore, all the drag that we have from the SOEs, we need to, and we will, inshallah, accelerate the privatization agenda. And you already see some of the transactions which are in play at the moment, whether it's PIA, our national airline, or the Islamabad airport. We certainly hope that inshallah by the time that we come to end June or early July, we can get these transactions through the finishing line. Now, that is, from my perspective, the short term. We need to get this done in the next fiscal year and then get into the permanence of it. But ultimately, it's about road to market, because people question, and rightly so, with a healthy dosage of skepticism, that why would this be the last program with the IMF? We are ultimately talking about the 24th IMF program that we are getting into. The only way we'll ensure that this is the last program is if we have a clear view and roadmap in terms of road to market. The first one is export-led growth, and the second one is foreign direct investment. And that's where, ladies and gentlemen, all of you come in. All of you come in, because you are going to make it happen, inshallah, for Pakistan. And the last thing is, of course, the access to international capital markets, which we have to work on our ratings, and whether it's the euro, whether it's Reg S, whether it's Chinese Panda bond, we have to get there. And ultimately, if we are able to deliver on these roadmap, inshallah, we won't have to get into dependence on another fund program. So we are very clear in terms of what we need to do in terms of short term. And when I talk about medium term, this is over the next 2 to 3 years. Now, I would like to close by emphasizing what the Minister mentioned earlier, that the private sector has to lead this country. As far as the government is concerned, we are very committed that we are going to provide the policy framework. And some of you who came in and talked about policy continuity, and you're absolutely right. We need both as we go forward, and we are, we will inshallah sort of deliver on that. मैं सिर्फ आखिर में 30 सेकंड लूँगा उर्दू में बात करने के लिए, और वो इसलिए मैं कह रहा हूँ कि if we genuinely believe कि private sector has to lead the country, तो private sector को आगे बैठना चाहिए और ministers और bureaucrats को हमें पीछे बैठना चाहिए. I think it's about time. It's about time that we actually make sure, when we say the private sector has to lead this country, the private sector should also be sitting in the front benches, and all of us should be, Excellency, I'm just saying, all of us should be right behind them, because that's how it works, and that's how we are going to operationalize the private sector leading the country. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a very successful investment conference from Ministry of Finance. We are there to help, support, assist any way we can. I'm available during the course of the entire day, but more importantly, I'm available, Ministry of Finance and Revenue is available for any support, any clarification as you require as we inshallah go forward together.
मज़ीद हालात हाज़रा से बाखबर रहने के लिए हमारे चैनल आई पॉइंट टीवी को सब्सक्राइब करें।